This scene and a few others are why everyone fears the nice characters in these shows, starting off with the nicest character of Teen Titans Go by far. Starfire is often the wide-eyed, kind Tamaranian that everyone knows and loves, but even she has her limits. After celebrating a cozy Christmas, Starfire has a holiday on her planet that's like Christmas, but way more violent. Beast Boy, Cyborg, and Raven come up with a plan to make their own second Christmas, but it involves lying.
Yeah, second Christmas. You don't know about second Christmas?
I do not.
Oh, that's right. You're never here for that.
She's going to give up a real yearly tradition that she looks forward to because Raven, Cyborg, and Beast Boy don't want to go back to work post-holidays, which is kind of relatable. I still don't know when you're supposed to take down holiday decorations. Starfire goes through all of the supposed second Christmas activities, all while Robin tries to tell her that all of this is a scam, it doesn't exist, and her friends are lying to her. And one may call her naive, but she is an alien learning Earth customs, and she just wants to trust her friends, even if they are actively taking advantage of that trust. You know what they say, the saddest thing about betrayal is that it never comes from your enemies. You know who else is sad? The three liars, when they realize Starfire is going to stay up to witness the second Christmas miracle.
Aren't you going to bed, Starfire?
How could I? I do not wish to miss second Christmas Santa. I did not miss the Great Kurgov, the most important celebration of my people, to not witness the second Christmas miracle.
They're guilty, but they don't have the heart to tell Starfire that they lied. They were willing to go to bed, knowing that Starfire would be heartbroken when she realizes there won't be a second Christmas miracle because there's no second Christmas. Despite being punched in the face twice in this episode, Robin shows why he's the team leader by rounding up the three liars and getting them to admit that they took advantage of Starfire's niceness to get a second Christmas celebration, even when they knew Starfire had a real holiday tradition that she was going to miss if they told this lie. Let's just say Starfire's not thrilled.
Are you okay?
No! I am not the O or the K! You made me miss the Great Kurgov for this!
This is a valid crash out. You know how long a year takes? About a year. You'll notice with nice characters, everyone pretty much runs for their lives because you rarely see them in this space, so you have no idea what they're going to do. She pummels everyone with snow, including Robin, the truth teller, and had it not been for their tower exploding from all of the energy they overloaded with the generator with it to have a second Christmas, who knows what would have happened. Another reason people fear a nice character, like Starfire, is that you don't even need to lie to get her that upset. She is a teenager after all, and like practically all teenagers, they experience one emotion quite strongly, but it requires some context. The Teen Titans are chasing a jewel thief when Robin gets paralyzed in the process. As Starfire helps remedy Robin's situation, another villain comes on the screen to make demands.
Unless you want your city reduced to a moth-eaten wasteland, you'll do exactly as I say. My demands are simple. The city will declare me ruler, and Robin will take this lovely young lady to her junior prom.
Hi, Robbie Pooh.
What was that last part again?
Yeah, this is gonna get messy. This is Killer Moth and his daughter Kitten, who just got dumped and demanded her father to find her a new date. As you can tell, Robin is not thrilled to take Kitten on a date, but the fate of the city demands it, as the moths that Cyborg, Raven, and Beast Boy are fighting right now are overwhelming them. You know who else isn't happy about this?
It's a date.
He does not accept! Do you hear? Robin does not accept!
We're going to need a minute.
Yeah, the word of the day right now is jealousy. If you thought Starfire in the reboot was angry about being lied to, you haven't seen anything yet in the OG show. You may ask how Robin feels about this entire situation. After all, to a new viewer, this is Kitten's debut episode, and she's calling Robin Robbie Poo, which could imply some history. So how does Robin feel about all of this? And does Starfire know? That's just a thing here. Robin, all throughout this episode, will be open about how much he doesn't like Kitten, not even in the slightest. And Starfire hears this, but it doesn't matter. Just look at how Starfire is burning with rage because Robin is forced to ask Kitten to this prom. Robin instructs Starfire to handle the situation, and she decides it's best to follow Robin to the date because, in her words,
Your orders were to investigate the girl. I intend to investigate her thoroughly.
It doesn't help that all throughout this episode, Kitten is being the exact opposite of low-key, and we'll figure out why very soon. Starfire, once more, the nicest of the Titans, literally punches a limo so hard, it bounces up, and would later boil the punch bowl out of sheer rage, seeing that Kitten is trying to make it very public that she's on a date with Robin. Sure, nice characters are nice, but they aren't perfect emotional beings. They can be just as jealous as their counterparts. Things come to a climax when she demands Robin kiss her, or she'll potentially unleash steel-eating moths to destroy the whole city, something that shatters Starfire. But there's a twist. Remember earlier when I showed a clip of the Titans fighting some random jewel thief? You know what would be really funny?
Not even if you paid me.
Fang?
That's your boyfriend? Get your hands off my girl.
Turns out Fang isn't just some random thief. He was stealing all these things to win Kitten back over their very toxic relationship. However, until the detonator is destroyed, there's a bigger fight to be had. Starfire does not hesitate to attack Kitten, who in researching this video, I found people questioning why Kitten was so strong against Starfire, who would have been able to twist her spine into a Mobius strip. And I don't wholly agree with that sentiment. I think the fight is very well constructed, because you have Kitten using a lot of dirty tricks, and Starfire fighting out of pure jealousy and rage. So it makes sense that she's going to be sloppier here than in a normal fight where emotions aren't as big of a factor. Just look at how angry Starfire is in this fight. She scared everyone who witnessed this side of her. And I also think it's clever that when Kitten's dress is ruined, she released the moths, which the other Titans contain, but she loses her power. And when Starfire focuses on just one blast on her hands to separate Kitten from the detonator, Fang and Kitten are properly arrested and defeated. And more importantly, Starfire gets the last dance with Robin. But here's one big misconception about nice character snapping. It doesn't have to be just because of something bad. A nice character snapping can do a lot of good, actually. So this is Master Frown, a bad guy who loves being a bad guy but isn't having the best time right now. Turns out evil works just like big corporations. High quotas, being held hostage by shareholders, and constant changes to how something looks that no one likes. That may sound like a joke, but Master Frown has to commit a certain level of evil acts, or a special council will banish him, and in the process of doing this, Master Frown accidentally rips his legs off, which sounds gruesome, but it's Lego, so this is like a random Tuesday. How is Master Frown going to get to his meeting to share his quota if he literally can't move?
Unikitty, I need your help. You have to take me to Frowntown!
Fine, I'll take you.
Great!
If you help me with my nice princess duties.
Master Frown is going to have to do some nice things despite loving spreading misery. And throughout this episode, he struggles with this. And you see Unikitty's nice and cheery attitude start to show some cracks. Unikitty starts her princess duties and Frown offers resistance each time. And you see her flash a look at Frown that gets him to shut up each time. However, this is nothing like what happens later on in this episode. The problem is Unikitty doing her princess duties first means that Master Frown is unfortunately going to be late for his meeting with his boss and the other higher-ups. You can tell the boss is mad because of the voicemail they left and how Brock, Master Frown's best friend, roommate, and future boyfriend at the end of the series, spoke about it.
What they actually said was that you're late for a meeting or something, and then they hissed and I got scared so I hung up.
What? Don't worry, they called back and left a message.
Yeah, he's definitely gonna get chewed out a lot when he gets over there. One thing about nice characters is that they often have a lot of empathy. One may say the empathy is what grounds them to be so nice. So what would happen if that empathy was tested? As they make a disguise, you'll notice something is odd here. Master Frown describes his relationship with the higher-ups as equals, but they're just making fun of him the whole time.
I knocked some ice cream to the ground.
Oh, good job. You're a top-notch Doom Lord.
More like Dumb Lord. Yeah!
Unikitty and us realize in real time that Master Frown is not considered a peer. He's considered a joke. Now, one aspect about Unikitty, the character, is that she is friends with Master Frown, in the same sense that SpongeBob is friends with Plankton and that both characters know that the other one is evil, or at least tries to be evil, but responds with friendship anyway. So even if Unikitty doesn't agree with Master Frown spreading misery, seeing these people make fun of a friend of hers matters more. The higher-ups even learned that Master Frown spent his day as part of the Doom Lords doing nice and kind things, which gets him fired. And to make matters even worse, Brock drops his juice, so it looks like Master Frown wet himself. So now we get to see Unikitty, a nice character, have empathy towards a friend who is getting humiliated right now. In a fit of fiery rage, Unikitty destroys the Doom Lord's lair. Master Frown is literally begging her to stop, but it's too late. She's already on a roll. You can see the smiles wiped off everyone's face as they cannot handle her wrath. So you may ask, how does Unikitty crashing out lead to good things? Well, Master Doom gives Master Frown a second chance after appreciating Unikitty's sense of chaos and mayhem, even if it is because she's defending a friend, and Master Frown gets his job back. What's even scarier is that once she's done being upset, she flips like a switch back to being happy.
I'm glad we got to help each other out today. Yay!
Yeah, right. I planned the whole thing. Totally didn't need your help at all. Nailed it.
Yeah, you did. See you next time.
Now, another misconception is that a nice character snapping is always explosive. Actually, the opposite can happen too, and it's even more troubling. Clarence is a very optimistic, happy-go-lucky kid who, for this episode of Season 1, has a toy called Lil Buddy. He tries to show this to many kids on the playground who, for obvious reasons, don't have as large of a connection to this stuffed toy. Side note, how many of you still have a toy or some hand-me-down that's not in great condition, but you love it way more than some of the mint condition things that you have? Clarence, in trying to spread joy, accidentally gets a kid kinda hurt and is put in timeout for 5 minutes. This isn't a kid who regularly gets timeout. This is a kid who's begging for forgiveness immediately. And here's the important part. Miss Shoop says if Clarence speaks more, he'll get another 5 minutes. And he takes that very seriously. So seriously that this happens.
Your 5 minutes was up 5 minutes ago! Why didn't you say something? Hurry up and go play before the bell rings.
Nice characters prefer to follow the rules because not following the rules gets you in trouble, and getting in trouble means disappointing the people you care about or just not getting the things that you want. However, it is somewhat of a canon event in many nice characters' lives when something happens that is not fair that they question if things would have been more fair if they were not nice. Usually this comes when being nice was how they tried to solve it, and they realize that the other person isn't being that considerate or taking advantage of that. Here, Miss Shoop questions why Clarence didn't speak up but told Clarence earlier,
I'm giving you time out for 5 minutes. But I didn't. I can get you 5 more.
Which from his perspective is incredibly unfair. His friends immediately clock that something is wrong, and I find it endearing that they try to help, which speaks to how they care about him and how they know his natural attitude is being cheerful. This takes a toll on Clarence, who can be seen pacing back and forth in his room because of how frustrating his day was. Even worse, in a fit of anger, he throws Little Buddy and rips his arm off. In a mix of sadness, disappointment, and pure adrenaline, Clarence bikes past Mrs. Baker to do what must be done. This is a darker scene from such a cheery show, and what I enjoy about this scene is that it feels like he's making an attempt to shed that identity. From this point, you don't get a big blow up like with Starfire, you get a numb Clarence. Just like his friends, his mom clocks his behavior and tries to cheer him up, but that's kind of the thing about unfairness and injustice. It eats at your soul, especially if the unfair thing only happened to you. That one decision changed him so much that in school, life goes on, but he's different now. At home, life goes on, but he's different now. People notice that he's different now, but no one speaks up yet. Even worse, he's gone from a rare timeout to constant attention, further sending him down the spiral of a disconnected, quote-unquote, bad kid. Worst of all, Miss Shoop responds to this by brute forcing him to have fun, which is like the worst thing you can do. It's a complete misunderstanding of the situation, which further leads Clarence down this death spiral. I love this scene where he scoots past the burial site of Lil Buddy, and we see that there's still this emotion inside of him, because it never left. He just walled up a lot. He sells his other toys, his prized possessions, and his room becomes bleak, dark, and empty. He starts dressing differently, associating with dark colors. This isn't the Clarence that we know, this is a different Clarence. Things would turn from bad to worse to weird.
Miss Shoop, remember that one kid, the weird one who used to be nice, but then he's weird now? This is just a bunch of kids, and I think you should
Clarence would dress up as Lil Buddy because that's all he can think about, which weirds everyone out. See, Clarence deep down truly is a nice kid, but he's been given a bad hand and shown no sympathy for it. And while adults, that's rough too, the reason it's worse for a kid is because they truly do not know better. They're still developing endurance and morality. Nice characters in this way are often their worst enemies because they fear confrontation and things ball up inside of them that can manifest into bigger emotional displays that didn't need to go as far as they did had they confronted it immediately. For Clarence, it wasn't a short outburst, it was a long, uncomfortable climb for a violent payoff.
Don't you?
What's up? Guess you saved the last pants for...
Don't condone violence.
There's two outcomes here. Either you keep responding with anger and punishment and see where that gets you, or you respond with empathy and kindness for a change and see what happens. And that's why I appreciate Mrs. Baker so much, because she was observant. She saw how he slowly changed and how she went to the source to figure out why, and when she confronts Clarence on this, it's like he's a completely different person.
Someone here wants to see you.
Little buddy. Daddy misses you so much.
Who would have thought that responding to injustice with boo-hoo, so sad, and more punishment versus compassion and extra recess time to make up for it, that the latter is more effective? I do wish Miss Shoop would have apologized, but hey, what a realistic adult. Not taking accountability presumably because Clarence is a child and adults have this secret rule of not apologizing to children even when they know they're in the wrong. Now, while this episode was pretty dark, sometimes a nice character snapping is the funniest part of the episode. If you've never seen this show on screen before, if I can show you one episode and one scene, it would involve this character Adorabat, because as cute and nice as she is the scariest one of all three. But this scene requires a little bit of context. See, this is Trading Day, an episode where Mau Mau, Badgerclops, and Adorabat trade places, and Adorabat would get very upset because of what happened to Badgerclops. They traded places, which meant that Badgerclops went to school in place of Adorabat, and Badgerclops would make an enemy.
Who can tell me what color this... That's green! I mean, right? Very good, Badgerclops. You get a star. Oh my gosh!
And if things couldn't get more petty, Badgerclops knocks Chubbum down, this frog sweetie pie, and he doesn't get his snacks or a proper nap. To be clear, Badgerclops is far from the nicest character, but his sassiness is what makes his character so fun. He's clearly taking advantage of his position here though, at school, and doesn't feel like trading places back because now his life is so awesome, in his own words. Well, that good life is crashing down because after shoving 2 sweetie pies, Chubbum gets his revenge.
Shoverclops is shoving! Shoverclops is shoving! Shoverclops is shoving!
Stop it! You're a mean little boy! I'm not a Shoverclop! I hate you! I wish I was never born!
Badgerclops learns that even as a grown adult, nothing is worse than the persistence and unfiltered opinions of a bunch of kids. He tries to avoid telling the others, but Mau Mau learns quickly that Badgerclops is running from the mess he caused. And it's even worse because there's a giant monster causing chaos. And the worst part is that this monster eats the sweetie pie kids, who at the end of the day, were just teasing someone who became kind of a bully. This is your typical main character learns other characters' life isn't as easy as they thought episode, where at the end they switch back and defeat the monster. The thing is, there's still the teasing of the sweetie pies here, and Badgerclops lets Adorabat deal with it, and how she deals with it would be the clip I would show people to convince them to watch Mau Mau.
Hey, Chubbum? Were you name-calling my friend at school today?
A little.
Chubbum, how would you like it if we called you names?
No, I don't think I would like that very much at all.
I told you to behave while I was gone! Listen up! This is my bathroom!
Badgerclops was a bit of a meanie from their perspective, but this is one of the funniest moments of the show. As I probably said in my rise and cancellation video, Adorabat's voice actor, Lika Leon, earns every single cent doing this voice. In fact, the budget for the whole show should have been tripled so that she can get more compensation. Adorabat is genuinely a nice bat, but she'll go off the deep end quickly, including threatening someone. As funny as that detour was, this next episode is not just funny, it's also kind of concerning. We've seen nice characters snap and have it be funny, dark, and scary, but how about all at once? Bubbles is typically known as the sweetest of the 3 Powerpuff Girls, but that's a huge problem in this episode, not because it's true, but because how she gets treated. In this training simulation room, Buttercup absolutely destroys this monster, with the danger level set to 9. And listen to how they speak about Bubbles when it's her turn.
Don't worry, Blossom, I know. Danger level 9 is way too much for our little Bubbles.
Nice characters often get underestimated because generally, if they don't show an assertive or scary side, people just assume it doesn't exist. As Professor Utonium turns the danger dial down, Bubbles recognizes this immediately and calls it out, saying this isn't the first time he's done that, but she proves why he did it immediately. And while she didn't beat the danger level 2 monster, what's even more painful is how the professor speaks about her defeats.
You're not ready for the higher levels yet. Oh, don't worry, cheer up. Someday you will be.
It's not fair.
It's not just the professor, the other Powerpuff Girls believe this too, and it hurts Bubbles a lot because she thinks being hardcore is cool, as you would see when she compliments Buttercup for how she destroyed the monster at danger level 9. They add even more tension on this when Blossom reminds the professor to keep the hallway light on specifically for Bubbles when she tries to be tougher and say she doesn't need it, and the professor just laughs in her face, and Buttercup reminds her that they all think she's the most scared of the Powerpuff Girls, which takes things way too far. Now she's in bed, stewing, just thinking about how she's been treated all day, and all of this builds into anger, an anger that can only be expressed through trying that machine again, but not at danger level 2, not at 9, not at 10 either, but danger level 11, which it's implied that the other girls haven't reached that yet. At first she's taken back by the danger of it, but she perseveres, taking the monsters down with ease. After all, this is a test to see if she is who she thinks she is. You can just see how she's so vicious here, that she was going to either defeat the monsters or get destroyed trying. While this would be a happy ending where she proved herself right, the problem is that she's still upset with what they said. You see this best when she plays with her sisters and the other school kids during recess. A nice character can sometimes appear unreasonable because what may have been said in a joking manner from one person is something that the nice character is struggling with and would appreciate if the people who claim they care for them weren't the obstacles in their way. However, this is where things go from playing rough to downright unhinged. So the mayor is stuck in traffic because of a talking dog who doesn't know how to drive. Now, multiple choice question for you. Do you think Bubbles is going to A, calmly talk to the dog, B, push the car out of the way, C, carry the mayor to his destination, or D, deck the dog in the face multiple times?
Oh, hi, Bubbles. How are you?
Jesus Christ, Bubbles! The sheer brutality of Bubbles needs to be studied. The other girls try to reason with her, but she's too far gone at this point. She's angry, but more importantly, she's hurt because of how they continue to baby her when she politely asks to be taken more seriously. She goes on a violent spree, roughing up anyone who even minorly does something wrong. It's not okay, but how she was treated was not okay too. And 2 things can be wrong here. Well, actually, there's 3 things wrong because Mojo Jojo kidnaps Bubbles and plans to zap her to make her cry so that the other Powerpuff Girls come to save her, which doesn't help with the most scared Powerpuff Girl accusations. But something different happens. There are no words to describe how absolutely insane all of this is. Mojo Jojo thought this would just be another squabble, but up to this point, he probably hadn't felt pain like this even when all 3 of them were attacking. If only he had seen what she did to the dog, he probably would have taken a mental health day that day. And it's the 90s, so you know mental health days are as common as winning the lottery. This kind of works out because once Blossom and Buttercup see how Bubbles not only handled a powerful laser, but beat up Mojo by herself, they compliment how hardcore she is, and they all make up and apologize. While sometimes you fear the nice character because of how violent they can get, that isn't always the biggest fear. Anais is very nice and sweet in many episodes, including this one. But there's one teeny tiny issue. Gumball and Darwin can't wait to watch a TV show that's going to acknowledge them. Nicole is waiting on a call from a game show to win a new microwave, and Anais wants to watch the new Daisy the Donkey episode.
I can't wait till 8.
Well, then I guess it's whoever gets the remote first!
Now here's the thing. The remote is fair game to who gets it, so as they argue, you notice they all use brute force and aggression to try to get what they want, with only one of them trying to be polite about this.
Oh, we've been sitting for the Can I please watch Daisy? No!
Sometimes a nice character isn't just a nice one, they are the smart one, and Anais shows what you should fear from that. Nicole would take things a step further by threatening Anais with being grounded if she doesn't tell her the model of the TV so that she can buy a spare remote, which having spare money to buy a remote because your husband is sitting on it is somehow both rich and not rich at the same time. Like, have you ever thought, wow, I have so much disposable income I can buy a remote to use for one day? Like, it doesn't sound rich, but you'd be hard pressed to find someone who's not rich who would ever think of doing that. As Gumball and Darwin attack Richard to get the remote that was stuck in a valley of 2 hills that starts with a B, ends with 2 T's, and has a U in the middle, it's gone. And that can only mean one person has it.
Where's the remote? What remote?
Right!
This scene is one of the most important moments of this episode to understand. It shows you the power of a nice person. See how angry they are and how they don't perceive Anais to be a threat at all, going as far as to trash a room that technically 2 of the 3 people here sleep in, and even threaten Anais by almost slicing the head off of Daisy the Donkey. Nice characters tend to be seen as pushovers anyway, and there's at least one advantage that comes with that we'll see. All you need to know is that Anais smashes this remote and informs the 3 that Nicole is buying another one, which causes them all to run off to chase her. And most importantly, Gumball gives Daisy the Donkey back to Anais.
You're not coming?
I don't care about your stupid TV anymore. All I need is my Daisy.
The action afterward describes their thought process. They're so laser focused on getting the remote that they don't realize that something is off here. In their rush to ambush Nicole to get the remote, we see that while Nicole is technically physically superior to all of them, they all have some of their own advantages here, such as Richard's massive gut and Gumball and Darwin's ability to guilt trip the only responsible parent they have. It doesn't matter because as they get home and fight over the remote, the truth is revealed.
Dagnabbit! It's for our garage door! What did you buy this for?
What? It's the one Anais told me to get.
Why would Anais tell you to buy the wrong... remote?
Yeah, no. She didn't set one of them up. Anais set all of them up. And they never suspected a thing. You see, when nice characters get upset and angry, it's easy to see why you should fear them. But when nice characters get upset and calm, that's arguably more scary. She managed to manipulate everyone into fighting over each other, locking them all out of the house and making them watch as she watches Daisy the Donkey. There's so many questions here, like how quickly did she plan all of this? Was this a tough plan for her to figure out? And if she's that good at acting, what else has she used her niceness and reputation for not being a threat for? Now we've seen nice characters snap at friends, snap about friends, and snap for friends, but what if we take friends out of the equation? Number 3 has had so many great examples of this that I'd love to speak more about her and Kids Next Door in the future, but if I had to pick one that really shows the power, it'd be within this episode, because as nice as she is, there is one rule that matters more than anything else with her. You don't ever mess with rainbow monkeys. She doesn't care if it's the plushies, the real-life rainbow monkeys, or just artwork of the rainbow monkeys. In fact, once you see how she reacts to tampering with even the artwork, you'll realize why of all of Sector V, Cookie is the nicest and scariest one of them all, by far. So the villains in Sector V are doing a trade, with the kids next door giving the Toilinator to the villains, and the villains giving number 13 to them, which no one is happy with. And it's easy to tell why.
Number 13, reporting for dude. My eye, my nose and my eye. Ow, 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 ow. Is it bleeding? I think it's bleeding. Oh, everything's dark. Oh, I'm deaf. What? Hello, I'm purple. Oh, ow.
Oh, brother. This is gonna be a long long day. Number 3 tries to give him some grace, but he immediately smashes one of the 14 very rare rainbow monkey vases in the world, because number 13, as his number implies, is very unlucky and clumsy, and it doesn't help that he takes no accountability for this. He's like the opposite of Milo from Milo Murphy's Law. Now, she doesn't get upset yet, but he's not done yet. He would immediately crash the vehicle that they were rescuing him in, and even when number 1 tries to pawn him back to his sector, Sector N, they want nothing to do with him. He's not completely useless in this episode. He does eventually inform Sector V that the villains are planning a high-scale robbery of a museum that features a prized rainbow monkey macaroni art, which you would imagine number 3 would care enormously about. I say eventually, because once they get there, they realize the villains are already inside, commencing their criminal plans.
So, the adults are already in, but we still have the element of surprise.
I'm coming, Monkey Lisa! Let's go, team!
While this is a funny scene, this is no laughing matter. This is Mr. Boss and his ice cream crew stealing all the fancy, artsy macaroni arts, and once they learn that Sector V is planning an ambush, Mr. Boss goes for the most valuable piece of them all. This leaves number 1, 2, 4, and 5 to attack Mr. Boss's henchmen, and number 3 to go after what's most important to her.
Rainbow Monkey Lisa. More delicious macaroni per square inch than any other work of art in the world. Come to Papa.
Don't you dare!
There are very few things in Kids Next Door more powerful than number 3's rage, and Mr. Boss is about to feel that. They have a pretty great fight, where number 3 acts with no fear. Nice characters, when they're put between someone evil and something they care about, can be just as, if not more vicious to protect that. But you wouldn't know just from looking at them, which arguably makes them more dangerous. With all of the aura in the world, she catches Mr. Boss's impromptu weapon, making them fight more of a sword fight, where Mr. Boss is on the losing side. I also love number 3's voice actor's delivery here.
How about it? You talk to... All right, Uncle!
Don't you ever touch that painting!
Yeah, Lauren Tom did amazing here, but there's no time for praise. There's a painting missing here, and there's only one person out of all the characters you've seen here that is by far the worst person to be in possession of the rare Rainbow Lisa. Mind you, throughout this entire fight, the other members of Sector V were ruining the art in the museum, not intentionally, but they were quite sloppy against the ice cream henchmen. The key here is that not only were they not trying to, but normally they would be trusted even in the most delicate of situations. Unlike one kid who probably should have been left home, or better yet, the center of Antarctica. And to explain what you're about to see, it has less to do with how number 3 reacts, and more to do with how every grown man within a mile radius reacts.
Here, I'll
Quick! Run like little girls!
Fam, I want to run too. And I'm the one making the video. I can't run now, there's another section left. Normally, number 3's anger turns quickly to other emotions such as sadness, which makes sense here because the one thing that she wanted to protect was destroyed by the one person who shouldn't have had their hands on it. Fortunately, it was number 5 who made it, so she promises to make another one. And even better than that, number 3's scream made someone realize they were better off with a different group of people. That's right, number 13 would run back to the villains. Do you know how crazy it is in the Kids Next Door to be a kid in the Kids Next Door and trust the adults more? Sometimes a nice character didn't change because of one thing. Sometimes it's because almost the whole town treats them one way and they get tired of it. All Fluttershy wants is to feed her pets, including Angel, this rabbit here, who gives her a tough time.
Here you go, Angel Bunny. Okay, Mr. Picky Pants, you win. Carrots, lettuce, and apples, yum, yum, yum.
Apparently, he often gives her a tough time, but this time it's different. He demands a very extravagant meal and basically pushes her to get the ingredients to make it. And you begin to see what many nice characters struggle with across so many shows, being a pushover.
Hey!
Would you mind moving back? You're in my personal space.
But seriously? Do you need your asparagus so badly? Get out live.
Nice characters often don't want trouble, and when you're shy and nice, you avoid confrontation because in your mind, the idea of confrontation is so stressful and uncomfortable and feels like it might be painful that it is less painful to just go with the flow. Nice characters sometimes love settling and not making a big fuss, and you'll see that for Fluttershy. The asparagus that she needs to make this meal gets sold out, but luckily Rarity is here to help her. The apples that were 1 bit last time and 2 bit this time were nearly bought at the new price, but Pinkie Pie was able to swindle her. Fluttershy sees they have the charisma to get what they want, but she's not there yet.
Boy, am I glad you have 1 cherry left. You see, I'm making this special meal for my bunny angel. He's a very picky eater, and the recipe calls for a cherry on top.
So you need this cherry very badly.
Oh yes, I'm desperate for it.
Unfortunately, the problem is that now that he knows that she's desperate for the cherry, it's now 10 bits, which is outrageous. That's the thing about nice characters. Many of them have had years and years of only being in this one mode of being passive and submissive, and you can't teach a backbone in a few seconds. It takes a lot of exposure to situations where having a backbone matters. Or you'll end up like this.
I need that cherry no matter what it costs.
In that case, 20 bits.
20? Oh, but I don't have that much.
I'll give you 2 bits for that cherry.
So, that's a break, kid. Next time, don't be such a doormat.
I know this is friendship is magic, but nothing feels more magical right now than punching Buddy in the face. You know for a fact, if Fluttershy offered 2 bits initially that he wouldn't have accepted that offer. I know for a fact he only jacked up the price because Fluttershy said she was desperate. Twice. Like, that's not even being a doormat. That's just not liking someone that you change your price based on how they treat you. And you know what's worse? Angel pretty much got the meal, but because Fluttershy was honest about missing one part of it, he rejects the whole thing. Like you see here, this isn't just one person doing wrong by a nice character, or a couple of friends doing wrong by a nice character, or even multiple people doing wrong by the nice character once. This is an entire day of all of these different people, some she knows, some she doesn't, being absolutely obnoxious to her. Something has to change, and coincidentally, she gets a pamphlet to try out whatever that change may be. I do want to point out that this convention she's going to is for pushovers who don't want to be pushovers. Yet I can't help but notice when Fluttershy goes to the front row, these so-called pushovers felt no remorse kicking her all the way to the back. Kinda makes me feel like some of these people don't need this course. But what is the training and who is the trainer exactly?
Iron Will is so confident that you will be 100% satisfied with Iron Will's assertiveness techniques that if you are not 100% satisfied, you pay nothing.
You heard him here first. 100% satisfaction in assertiveness training, or you don't pay a single bit. What's interesting about this episode is that had Fluttershy had more assertiveness, obviously she would need this course, but how he tries to solve that and the lesson she takes is going to cause a lot of people to kind of fear her. She sees Mr. Greenhooves overwatering her flowers, something she says he does often, and rather than listening to her, he dismisses her, calling himself a professional. She doesn't take no for an answer and steps on this hose, causing him to get doused with water. Now in a vacuum, it's not like the harshest thing I've ever seen in the world, but it is bold. You'll see as we go on, she's going to get bolder. 2 ponies, Cherry Berry and Sweetie Drops, block her way. And rather than, oh I don't know, going forward on the bridge to be considerate, they decide telling this story that they're talking about with each other is more important, and Fluttershy knocks garbage all over them. Again, very bold, not deserved, but I'm not like the most mad at it. It is only when she meets her friends who see her assertiveness pay off, when she stands up for herself after Shoeshine cuts her in line, that we see a subtle but important detail.
Well, old Pinkie Pie feels really proud of new Fluttershy. Proud as pink punch. Want some? You laugh at me, I wrath at you.
Yeah, she's learning the wrong lesson. Yeah, standing up for yourself does help you out, especially when truly wrong and unfair things happen to you. No, not every situation deserves 100% anger towards it. Fluttershy falls for a common flaw of nice and shy characters where it's either 0 or 100. There is no balance, no context, no moderation, no nuance. Some characters probably do deserve 100% angry Fluttershy, and many of the things that happened to her in this episode shouldn't have been handled the way that 0% Fluttershy handled it, but that's the art of standing up for yourself and speaking about things. She's angry about everything that everyone has done, but is treating people who didn't do anything wrong just as harshly as some of the true jerks in this episode. And that's not right. Rarity and Pinkie Pie help her shop for goods and try to help her be assertive, but this shows you that the line between assertive and bully is thinner than shy people think. If you couldn't see it before, you'll see it in this clip.
What happened to nice Fluttershy? We want that Fluttershy back. No, you want wimp Fluttershy. You want pushover Fluttershy. You want do anything to her and she won't complain Fluttershy.
Nice and shy characters feel the emotions just like more assertive characters do. And one of the problems that can happen when bottling it all up is that you can't turn it off and you become unreasonable like Fluttershy is here. However, she'll go further down this path. And this is when nice characters become what they hated.
Things getting too complicated for your simple little brain, Pinkie Pie. I thought petty was what you're all about, Rarity, with your petty concerns about fashion. I can't believe that the two most frivolous ponies in Ponyville are trying to tell new Fluttershy how to live her life when they are throwing their own lives away on pointless pursuits that no pony else gives a flying feather about.
Yeah, that's a lot. I remember before I became a reviewer, this was like one of the holy grail episodes that people spoke about, that I always knew it in name, but I never watched it. And that whole dialogue that I chopped up a bit because of copyright, it's incredibly angry. Even some of these other characters' most angry moments, they may have attacked someone physically, but they never went at someone's character. It makes you wonder, is this how she always felt and just never came out with it? Like, I don't believe that, but at this moment, you could have made an argument for it. She realized that this entire time, she's become the monster and locks herself away. Literally. Her friends make an effort to check in on her, and she's literally bound to a chair because she doesn't want to hurt anyone the way that she did with her friends, who admirably understand that this is probably a long time coming of stored up emotions. It doesn't help that Iron Will comes by to collect payment he said he only collects if the customer is 100% satisfied. Well, would you be satisfied if you cut into your friends' hobbies and lives and essentially called them a waste of space? Absolutely not. So this is her test, to speak about how being assertive isn't just anger and physicality. Nice characters often have to learn that assertiveness is just raising the notch 5%, 10%, 15%, just speaking a little bit more firmly, being a little bit quicker to correct behavior, calling out mean actions instead of excusing them, not going 100%, that should be rare. Fluttershy would understand this and realize if she's not satisfied, there's no payment to give.
Now, pay Iron Will what you owe Iron Will!
No. As I recall, during your workshop you promised 100% satisfaction guaranteed or you pay nothing. Well, I'm not satisfied.
What do you mean you're not satisfied?
Iron Will has never been told no before, and to have someone like Fluttershy stand up for herself and recognize that this training isn't for her is huge for her character. Iron Will literally couldn't be talked down by the seminar crowd, Rarity, or Pinkie Pie, all three of which were shown in this episode to roughly be able to stand up for themselves. While Fluttershy was very rude in this episode, if I'm viewing it from the perspective of everyone else in the town aside from Pinkie and Rarity being dismissive and rude and inconsiderate of her, I can't hate this episode or Fluttershy's behavior that much. In fact, this act redeems herself with the two people who mattered the most in this situation.
Totally stood up to that monster! In fact, you didn't change at all. You were the same old Fluttershy that we've always loved. The one we missed!
If you enjoyed this video, you gotta check out my original video speaking about nice characters, which you can click right here.